Hi, my name is Joel and welcome to this show. In this show, I would like to go against popular ideas. There are some things that many people seem to agree with that does not necessarily mean they're true. So, somebody has to talk about it, and that might just be me. In this video, I would like to talk about a very specific photograph. It was making rounds all over the internet. It broke the internet when it was published, and everyone was going nuts. And they were all sharing the picture with the same idea. Wow, they were all impressed, but I wasn't. In this picture, these people are going for the premiere of the movie Black Mass, which is played by Johnny Depp and Dakota Johnson. It was shared more than 15,000 times, with everybody going, wow, look at her. She's not using her phone. She put her phone down. She's enjoying the moment. She's in the now. I think differently. The most important thing she's supposedly doing is being in the now, being in the moment, and everybody else is somewhere else. It was a lesson for us to remember to put our phones away. You see, the irony of this message being passed on the very same phones and technology they're bashing is not lost on me though. Everyone else is doing something, and by her doing nothing, she is supposedly more engaged than the rest. So that was basically the argument that I don't want to agree with. So I went on a little research, So the first thing I asked myself, what is being in the moment? And why are these people not in the moment? I started my research and I came about this guy.
Now, this is not about living in the moment. The moment you make a philosophy, live in the moment. This philosophy is going all over the world. I'm asking you, please live somewhere else and show me, please. Can you?
It's not possible.
Then why such a teaching? Do whatever you want, you can only be the moment. You cannot be anywhere else.
I thought that was particularly funny, and you can watch the whole video. I've linked it down below. I found that most of the research done on this topic, most of the articles I came across, most of the videos I saw, they talked about life in general, citing things like help other people, try to smile more, be grateful for what you have. But I was looking for something very specific. The moment where she's just there smiling and looking, and everybody is with their phones. When I didn't find much about that, I decided to change my question from what is being in the moment to is taking a photograph taken away from the moment? Will taking a photograph make my experience less satisfying? Will it make me forget about the memory now that I have saved it somewhere else? According to a research done in June 2017, taking photographs makes you more likely to remember whatever it is you were photographing, even without looking at the picture. That sounds to me like being in the moment. I came across this research on an article that I linked below. The article contains a little more details that I will also suggest for you to read. However, the research documents themselves are not very easily accessible, for reasons well explained by Didem in her video in TLDR, which I also link below. After all this yada yada yada, all the videos I watched, all the articles I read, my research, that is not very comprehensive, I have to admit, I came to the conclusion that if taking photos actually makes you remember, then you are very much engaged and you're in that moment. So the people taking the photos and the lady are equally in that moment. And just like the video I showed you, they cannot be anywhere else but in that moment. So why is this photograph so popular? One, because people don't know that taking photos makes you actually engaged in that moment. And two is nostalgia. I know all the negative side effects associated with telephones, with people who are always on their phones. I know all that. But if we look at this picture, that is not really the case. They are not taking pictures of themselves. They are taking pictures of something else, which I think is actually a little bit different. That is why I came to the conclusion that this is all about nostalgia. Every generation likes to shit on the generation after them. The generation that grew up without all these gadgets and the internet like to shit on the generation that grew up with it. And I think this is one of the reasons why this picture was very popular. The common theme of the people who were sharing this picture was she reminded us to put the phones down, enjoy the moment like in the old days. But the old days are gone. They're not here with us. I seriously think this was the embodiment of nostalgia. Sentimental yearning for the happiness of a former time or place.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days.
You people have it easy. Back in the day, I heard that from my parents all the time. You have running water in the house. Back in the day, we used to have to go to the river to collect drinking water. And I'm like, should I also go to the river? I don't think I'm gonna do that. And I don't think they're going to do that either. With all this technology comes a new way of life that instead of bashing, we should try to find a way to live with it in the best way possible. I wonder what this generation who are taking pictures will say about the generation that will be using VR. Probably not in this format, but in the format where they have contact lenses and they're just seated there like they're dead. They will probably say, oh, I wish we can go back to the moment when we used to take pictures with our phones and not pictures with our VR lenses. These are my thoughts on this topic. What do you think? Don't take my word for it. What do you think? Let's discuss in the comments. Tell me what you think about today's video, and I'll see you next week with our next topic. Cheers. Bye-bye. Next week, I want to talk about ordinary people. When you go across the internet, all you see is extraordinary people. The Albert Einsteins, the Newtons, the Mark Zuckerbergs, and the Michael Jacksons, and the Muhammad Alis. And many articles about these people these days is how they became successful and how you can be successful like them. Yet we forget to remember that these people make less than 1% of the human population. There are more ordinary people than extraordinary people. And it's actually okay to be ordinary. You don't have to be the next Mark Zuckerberg. Your life is not meaningless if you're not the next Michael Jackson. So chill out.